So we are at stage 3, paragraph page 189. Last headword was hot. New word, type of lesson. Okay, so let's start from where we ended. Okay, so okay, repeat. Taste.
Taste.
Very good. Okay, listen. So the word taste is a verb. We taste with our tongues. For example, I'm tasting my finger. It's not delicious. Taste can also be used as a noun. For example, I put sugar in my tea because I don't like the taste of tea without sugar. So taste as a noun is like the sweetness, bitterness, saltiness, sourness, and hotness of a food. Okay? Just like you like the taste of chocolate because it's sweet, right?
No, 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 no.
No. Why do you like chocolate? Because it's sweet. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's practice. Do you like the taste of tea without sugar? Do you like the taste of green tea without sugar? Yes or no?
I don't like tea.
You don't like tea at all. So what do you like to drink? Milk. Do you drink milk?
Water.
Water only? Well, do you like the taste of water without sugar, of course, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Of course.
Next, what do we taste with? What do we taste with? We taste. We taste with our tongue.
Tongue.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. As many as. Oh, that's
Aha.
that's your tongue. You have a long tongue. As much as.
Aha.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so listen. We use as many as and as much as with nouns. For example, I've got as many fingers on my left hand as on my right, and I eat as much meat as bread. We use as many as with things we can count and as much as with things we cannot count. Okay, so let's practice. What's the difference between as many as and as much as? What's the difference between as many as and as much as? The difference
The
between
difference
as
between
many as much as
muchos
is that we use is that
with
we use as many
food and
as many
as many as
for things we can count.
like
What are you doing? For things we can count.
we can count
And as much as
as much as
for things
for friends
we cannot count.
we can count.
Very good. Have I got as many fingers on my left hand as on my right? Have I got as many fingers on my left hand as on my right? Yes, you've
No,
got. You've got
we
as many
got
fingers
fingers
uh, on your right hand
on your right hand.
as on your left hand.
What's on your left hand?
Very good. Maglagay ka ng takip before. Have I got as many? Okay, so do you eat as much food for dinner as you do for lunch? Do you eat as much food for dinner as you do for lunch? Yes or no?
No,
I don't eat as much food
what's much
for
food?
dinner as I
For
do for lunch.
for lunch.
I eat less food
It was food
for dinner
for dinner
than I do for lunch.
and I do for lunch.
Very good. Have we got as many feet as fingers? Have we got as many feet as fingers? No,
No,
we haven't got
we haven't got
as many feet as fingers.
As fingers.
We've got fewer feet
We got two feet.
than fingers.
No fingers.
Very good. Do you drink as much fruit juice as water? Do you drink as much fruit juice as water? No,
Oh,
I don't drink
I don't use
as much fruit juice
multiple juice.
as water.
As water.
I drink less
I think glass
fruit juice than
fruit
water.
juice and water.
Rega, do you think you read as many books as your mother? Do you think you read as many books as your mother? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I don't think
I read
I read
as many books
no books
as my mother.
as my
I
mother.
think I read
I think I read
fewer books
few books
than her.
than her.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Camera. Camera.
Camera,
Photograph.
photograph,
Photo.
picture.
Photo.
Photo. You
Take
forget the sound.
bad.
Sound.
Take a photo.
Take a photo. Did you forget the sound? This.
Which one? That one? What's that? A picture? I'll give you a picture. A photograph. Okay, but first, listen. So, photograph means picture. So, this is the picture. Oh, I'll give you the picture here. It's the Brown
Not
family.
that.
You don't like the Brown family? That's the picture of the Brown family. Or we can say, this is a photograph of the Brown family. We can also say, this is a photo of the Brown family. Okay, so we use a camera to take photos. Most mobile phones have a camera. When I go on holiday, I take photos with a camera and sometimes with my phone. Okay, so let's practice. When you go on holiday, do you take photos with a camera or with your phone? When you go on holiday, do you take photos with a camera or with your phone? When I go on holiday,
When I go on
I take photos
I take photos.
with
Huh?
a camera.
With a camera.
With a camera. Very good.
That's wrong.
You click the camera. Okay.
I don't.
Next, stand.
That
Stand. Card.
car.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word card is a noun. For example, a birthday card or a Christmas card, etc. And a card is a verb. For example, I send cards to my friends at Christmas time. Let's practice. Do you send cards to people in your family at Christmas time? Do you send cards to people in your family at Christmas time? No, I don't send
No,
cards
I don't sell cars.
to people in my family
No,
at Christmas time.
not Christmas time.
Very good. Next, repeat. Receive.
Repeat.
Reply.
Banana.
Contact.
Contact.
Email.
Email.
Text.
Test.
Message.
Message.
Letter.
Letter. App.
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 Very good. Okay, next.
Wait.
Listen, receive is a verb. It is the opposite of send. For example, I send cards to my friends at Christmas time, and sometimes I receive some cards from them. Reply is also a verb. It means to answer. Contact is a verb. For example, I generally contact my friends by texting them. Email can be used as a noun and a verb. Message and letter are nouns. For example, I send letters to my friends and family when I go to other countries, but sometimes I send them emails. I email them. I don't reply to all the emails I receive. I only reply to some of them. A text can be used as a noun, which means a message, or a verb, which means to
Commercial.
message. For,
Ulysses.
for example, if I want to send somebody a quick message, I write a text. I text them. I use the Line app when I message my friends. Nico.
Not round.
Yeah. Okay, so let's practice. What's the up?
Cat.
Yeah, it's a cat.
What kind of?
What kind of cat? A cat. What's the opposite of send? What's the opposite of send? The opposite of send
The opposite of sand
is receive.
is receive.
Very good. Which do you receive the least? Letters, text, or emails? Which do you receive the least? Letters, text, or emails? I receive letters
I receive letters.
the least.
Please.
Do you reply to all the emails you receive? Do you reply to all the emails you receive? No,
No,
I don't reply
I don't
to
reply
all the emails
to all the emails.
I receive.
I receive.
I only reply
I only
to
reply
some of them.
to some of them.
Very good. Okay, next. How does the school generally contact students? By texting them, by emailing them, by phoning them, or by messaging them in a calendar app? How does the school generally contact students? By texting them, by emailing them, by phoning them, or by messaging them in the calendar app? The school
To school.
generally contacts
Generally holding.
students by
School. School.
emailing them.
School.
Very good. Which do most people prefer for short messages, text or emails? Which do most people prefer for short messages, text or emails? Most people
Most people
prefer text
protect
or short messages.
or short
Messages.
messages.
Very good. Which app do you use when you message your friends? Which app do you use when you message your friends? I use.
I don't use anything.
You don't use yet. I don't use
I don't use
any app yet.
any apps.
I ask my mom. Yeah. You ask your mom to send messages.
I
Right.
don't send.
Yeah, you don't send to anyone? Like, Mom, can you send grandma a message like that? Ah, okay. Can you tell her happy birthday? No, not like that.
Uh,
Okay, so next. House.
House.
Flat.
Lap.
Floor. Or
Roar.
floor.
Roar.
Block.
Black. Black.
Very good. Okay,
Black. Black.
listen. The difference between a house and a flat is that a house is a building, like the one behind Mr. and Mrs. Brown, your favorite picture. Okay? Whereas a flat is a part of a building and is generally on one floor. Houses are generally in the country, whereas flat are in town. A block of flat is a large building which is divided into many flats. Okay? So there we go. Let me send this one. Okay, so let's start.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
what's the difference between a house and a flat? What's the difference between a house and a flat? The difference between
the difference
a
between
house and a flat. A house
a
and a
house
flat
and a flat.
is that a
Yeah,
house
it's the house
is a building,
and a building.
whereas a flat
As a flat
is part of a building.
is out of the building.
Very good.
Ni hao.
Who's that?
Ni hao.
Neha, that's a Pokemon.
Ni hao.
Okay, very good. Okay, what do we call a large building with many flats inside it? What do we call a large building with many flats inside it? We call
We
a
call
large building
a large
with
building
many flats around it
with uniforms about it.
a block of flats.
A block of flats.
A block of flats.
A block of flats.
Very good. Do you live in a house? Do you live in a house? Yes or no?
No,
I don't live
I don't live
in a house.
in a
I
house.
live in a flat.
I live in a flat.
Very good. Do most people in your country live in houses or flats? Do most people in your country live in houses or flats? Most people
Most people
in my country
in my
live
country
in
live
flats.
in flats.
How many floors are there in your building? How many floors are there in your building? There are
There are
how many? Two floors
owls
in my building.
in my building
Very good again. Next, repeat. Near.
near
Far from.
for
Very good. Okay, listen.
not near.
Huh? The word
Not
near,
near.
near is an adjective. Far from is the opposite of near. For example, Japan is far from England, and Japan is near Korea. Okay, Japan is near Korea.
Korea.
Very good. Okay, next, let's practice. Is Japan near England? Is Japan near England? No,
No,
Japan isn't
Japan
near
isn't near
England.
England.
It's far
England
from
is
England.
far from England.
Very good. Next, repeat. Nearer than,
Near the
further than.
border.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word nearer than is an adjective. So it is the comparative of near. For example, France is nearer England than China. Okay, so further than is the opposite of nearer than. Now we're back. For example, China is further from England than France. Okay, so let's practice. Is France further from England than China? Is France further from England than China? No,
No,
France isn't
France isn't
further from England
further from England
than China.
and then China.
It's nearer England
Near England
than China.
than China.
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 Very good. Again, let's repeat the nearest.
Shit.
The nearest.
Down here is
The furthest.
the furthest.
Very good. Okay, listen. The nearest is an adjective.
Is it
It is the
adjective?
superlative of near. For
Or just a
example, of these three countries, France, Greece, and Japan, France is the nearest to England. The furthest is the opposite of the nearest. Okay? So,
yes.
for example, of those three countries, Japan is the furthest from England. Okay, so let's practice. Of these three countries, France, Greece, and Japan, which is the nearest to England? Of these three countries, France, Greece, and Japan, which is the nearest to England? Of those three
Of those
countries,
three countries,
France, Greece,
France,
and
Greece,
Japan,
and Japan.
France is the nearest
France is the
to
nearest
England.
to England.
Very good. And which of those three countries is the furthest from England? And which of those three countries is the furthest from England? Of those
Of those
three countries,
three countries,
Japan is the furthest
Japan is the furthest
from England.
From England.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. At the beginning of.
At the beginning of.
At the end of.
At the end of.
Very good. Okay, listen. I say good morning to you at the beginning of the lesson and goodbye to you at the end of the lesson. Okay, let's practice. What do I say to you at the beginning of the lesson? What do I say to you at the beginning of the lesson? You say good morning to
You
me
say good morning to me
at the beginning of the lesson.
at the beginning of the lesson.
What do I say to you at the end of the lesson? What do I say to you at the end of the lesson? You say goodbye to
You
me
say goodbye to me
at the end of the lesson.
at the end of the lesson.
Where does January come at the end of the year? Does January come at the end of the year? No.
No,
January doesn't
January
come
hasn't
at
come
the end of the year.
at the end of the year.
It comes at the beginning
It comes at the beginning
of the year.
of the year.
Where does Saturday come at the beginning of the week? Does Saturday come at the beginning of the week? No.
No,
Saturday doesn't come
Saturday just come
at the beginning of the week.
at the beginning of the week.
It comes at the end of the week.
It comes at the end of the week.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our new work. Let's have reading. Okay, so get
No
your
reading, no reading, no
why?
reading, no reading. This are no reading.
You don't like reading?
No, just
What?
say, just
I'll read it and then you follow. Is that okay?
right.
Okay? I'll read it and then you follow. You like that?
Okay, so
Okay, so our reading is at page 171, last Edward was date. Okay, let's have the first one. What's the date today?
what's the day today?
The date today is
The day today is
the 25th
the 25th
of July,
of July
2024.
to 24th.
24.
24th.
Well, what was the date yesterday? What was the date yesterday? The date yesterday
The date yesterday
was the
was
24th
just the 24th
of July,
of July
2024.
to count 24.
What will the date tomorrow be? What will the date tomorrow be? The date tomorrow
This will
will be
be
the 26th
the 26th
of July,
of July
2024.
2024.
Very good. Is the table light? Okay, repeat. Is the table light?
It's the table, right?
No,
No, the table isn't
light.
light. It's
It's
heavy.
heavy. Is
It's,
this piece of
is
paper
this a piece of paper
light enough?
heavier than a
Heavier than the
table?
table? No.
No,
That piece of paper
a piece of paper
is